So would it be fair to say you're doing 800 kitchens a year with 2 guys? Cutting and edging with 2 guys? Yeah, so this is what your kitchen looks like. Yeah, so this is just the this particular one's just the carcass of the kitchen. Yeah. So an average kitchen would fit on 1 trolley. What we have is MDF and a mixture of MDF and particle board. So this stock comes in from Nelson and from Auckland, USA. It comes pre-finished. Yes, so the majority of kitchens that we build use particle board as their carcass. Okay, a couple of reasons for that. We're using the MDF for our drawer fronts and cupboard fronts. Yes, ever since moisture resistant additives could be added to a board, we've done that. You know, all kitchens out of Interior Fittings have a moisture resistant component in the board. And you also do, I know you did a kitchen for us out of plywood as well, so sometimes you do plywood. Yeah, sometimes there's also plywood kitchens as well. Regardless of the design, the thing that changes the cost or price of a kitchen is the products that go into it. You can have a kitchen with a melamine finish and laminate bench tops, maybe around $15,000. You could take that exact same design and turn it into a shaker style kitchen with a paint finish, with a high-end granite top, and that could be an $80,000 kitchen. Exact same layout, exact same hardware, or maybe an upgrade in hardware. So what do you say? It's shaker style. Yeah, so a shaker style kitchen is a door style, the one that looks like picture frame. Benefits between textured and say gloss. Yeah, the texture definitely doesn't show up as much fingerprints. So the acrylic, this is an acrylic, a plastic that's pressed on. So rather than a melamine pressed on the board, acrylic, it's a little bit more durable. They have a larger range of high gloss as well as matte finishes. So if you're looking for a matte high gloss kitchen, the acrylic's definitely the way to go. And this is an auto-unload CNC machine. Okay. Most this is about 10 sheets an hour. Okay. So every 2 to 3 hours, the kitchen's coming off that CNC machine. You get a kitchen out 2 to 3 hours. So how many a day are you pulling out of here? About 3 or 4 kitchens a day off the CNC is what we can produce. Yep. This machine here we've had for 6 years, going on 7 years. And it's always been CNC? We've run CNC machines now for 30 years. 30 years? Yeah. Okay, so it's always been CNC. So haven't been, not myself, but my father and my grandfather. Yeah. Cutting kitchens by hand over a saw. All right, so that machine there, the CNC machine, that's going to do your carcasses, and it's also going to do all your drawer fronts and your cupboard fronts. That's right. The other one is extraction. Yeah, extremely important in a joinery factory. It has got extraction on all of your machinery. Yes. So these are these big tubes up the top. That's all your extraction. Yeah. But what we try to do is optimize colors and materials together to reduce the wastage as much as possible. Combining kitchens and wardrobes together, can you make even more efficient use of your board? So for us, we actually bring in our product anywhere up to 6 to 8 weeks ahead of the kitchen. Yeah, we actually like to get the product in here well in advance to make sure that we've eliminated any shortages in that product. We actually had 0 delays passed on to clients because we were bringing in product well in advance. One guy can operate both machines. So if one guy gets sick, the whole factory doesn't shut. It doesn't stop. We also cross-train the majority of our guys, so it's just to help with that. These guys also split their breaks, so we don't shut down for lunchtime. So depending on what they're running, so when we're running carcass or particle board, it's usually 3 minutes of downtime before the next sheet comes off. Yeah. So usually the CNC operator, he'll come around and he'll work to help outfeed and keep production running on the colour. So on the factory floor, you're producing 3 or 4 kitchens a day with 2 guys. Yeah, with 2 guys off the machine shop side. Yeah. Okay. So Josh, we've had a look at the CNC machine, the edge banner. Where do we go from here? Yeah. So once the kitchen's cut and edged, they go into trolleys and we bring them through into this area here. So generally each one of these in the kitchen. Yeah. So this is your kitchen. Not uncommon to have 2 or 3 trolleys per kitchen. Yeah. So with the pre-assembly team, what happens is the kitchen comes through on the trolley and then it gets sorted into the individual cabinets along this wall here.
Okay, and all these cabinets have got little codes on the back of them.
Yeah. So they all have codes to follow.
Yep.
Numbers. And then they come onto the benches and each individual cabinet gets made. The carcass gets made. And each individual cabinet, just the carcass, gets made on the bench. And when usually the team of 3 or 4 guys are all working on one kitchen.
Yeah. So you go one kitchen at a time.
One kitchen at a time at the pre-assembly area.
Yeah.
So on the assembly side of the factory, we split into two teams.
Okay.
We have what we call a pre-assembly team. That's all the guys working on the benches here. And then we have our final assembly team, which is on the other side where they fully final assemble the kitchen.
Yeah. So two teams. How many guys have we got in here? Or people, I should say.
Most of the time, around about 8 people in here. But it does fluctuate depending on who's out and installing and what our schedule is placed down.
Yeah.
So what the final assembly guys do is they take the individual carcass components, they join it all together, lay it out.
So they're setting the kitchens up in-house.
Setting the kitchen up in-house. So they're setting it all up like that. And then they're starting to fit off the panels, fit off the drawer fronts, cupboard fronts and things like that. So they take it to a fully finished state. So they basically do as much as they possibly can in the factory. That's something that's a little bit different for a company of our size, where we do everything we possibly can on the factory floor, because we're running all of our own install crews who are leaving Rotorua and driving anywhere up to 6 hours to then install a kitchen. We do as much as we can here.
I don't want to be flapping around to make the house. No. You're essentially building a modular kitchen that we can assemble on site.
Yes.
You're tying it all together. So it goes from a flat piece of board like this through the CNC, the edge bander, pre-assembly where they're building the majority of the carcass, and here off we're finishing off the carcasses.
Yes.
You're putting on the colour board onto the front, joining it all together. They're laying it out so it's basically this is how it's going to look in the house. And then we're not having to disassemble the whole thing.
Yeah. And so either individual modules or modules that can be lifted by two guys.
Yeah.
And get it into the house.
It still has a fair bit of personalisation too, because it's one of the things we've noticed. Even though it's quick, we get a fair bit of personalisation in each one of the houses.
Yeah, so we're not modular in the true sense of the word. We're what we'd call custom modular.
So,
but each unit will be a set size to make best use of the space or fitment that's going into the house.
okay.
Yeah, so we'll have a look at these ones, because these are three.
There's lot 42. Is this one?
This is Rotorua. This is 3 of yours are here.
So these are our kitchens. Oh, so you're fitting the drawers and everything, the cupboard fronts.
Yep, cupboard fronts, drawer. Yeah. So cupboard drawer fronts, door fronts, everything goes on, and you'll see it loaded with blankets and fixed to the top floor, so things aren't moving around and rubbing. The only thing that doesn't go on is the handles. Handles get fitted on site, and same with the shelves all get fitted on site.
Okay.
Otherwise, as you can see, lay it out and fit it off like it's going to be done in the house.
Yeah.
It allows us to eliminate any issues at this stage. Once the kitchen is to leave the factory, the kitchen needs to be 100%.
You're obviously not putting the bench top on.
So not always. If we've got the laminate bench tops, the laminate bench tops will be fitted here in the factory as well. Make sure test fitted. Done as much as we possibly can here in the factory.
We've test fitted everything.
And from here we break it down into the individual components to be ready to load on the truck.
Okay.
So when one of your team updates the schedule, Terry makes the change on for the install date, who coordinates it through to Dan, our factory manager. Dan moves it in our schedule to match your schedule. Every step of this process throughout the factory adjusts to suit.
Yeah.
So you're actually working back from our delivery. We work back from your delivery date. So we'll be working towards the 1st of May. We'll be working towards that date when when Terry from Gillies Group gets in touch and says there's been a delay by 2 weeks. We update our schedule by 2 weeks, and everything through the factory flows back from that. Terry needs to bring it forward 2 weeks, which has happened recently. There were some changes with what was happening in Maymorn and some delays in Trenton. He had to switch around the schedules, and he needed kitchens two weeks earlier than what we'd planned for. So it went from being 4 weeks out to I need these kitchens in 2 weeks. And as I mentioned earlier, we bring in our product about 6 to 8 weeks ahead of time. Dan does the check to make sure we're good to go. Let's Terry know we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we kick it into production. Once the kitchens have been quality checked by our factory lead, they then get broken down and stacked at the front of the factory, ready to go out on the trucks for delivery. We like to have the kitchens built, stacked, ready to go about 5 days ahead of install. The reason for that is anything that's identified in the quality check process, we can resolve, make sure that we're putting out a kitchen that's 100% complete. Usually the day before the kitchen goes to site, it's loaded onto one of our 4 trucks, ready to go to be delivered across to the North Island.
Okay, and this is what we're transporting, and this is how they're getting transported. It's basically broken up into individual modules, wrapped in blankets, secured, and then that's basically shipped onto our site.
And then onto site.
Yeah.
So yeah.